Ladies and gentlemen, each morning when we wake up, the world rushes in with demands, distractions, and desires. But before we reach for our phones, calendars, or coffee cups, there lies an invitation, a quiet, profound call to wake up and seek God first. Why, you may ask, should we begin our day in this way? Because the first moments of your morning are sacred. They are the foundation upon which the rest of your day is built. Consider this: the first thought you entertain, the first choice you make, sets the tone for the hours that follow. If we seek God before anything else, we align ourselves with truth, wisdom, and eternal perspective. Each morning as the sun rises and the world stirs to life, there lies a profound moment of opportunity that often goes unnoticed. This is the moment of waking, a threshold between rest and action, a space where choices are made that shape the trajectory of the day ahead. In that quiet moment, before the demands of life clamor for our attention, we are presented with a chance to begin intentionally, to awaken not just our bodies but our spirits, and to step into the day with purpose. To wake up is more than the act of opening one's eyes. It is a call to consciousness, a reminder that life itself is a gift. Each day, unpromised and freely given, is an invitation to live with meaning and alignment. Yet too often we rush past this sacred opportunity, consumed by routines or the immediacy of tasks waiting for us. Instead of pausing to reflect, we allow the momentum of busyness to carry us forward, often unprepared and unfocused. The call to wakefulness asks us to approach our mornings differently. It encourages us to view the first moments of the day as the most vital. Just as a plant turns toward the sun to receive light and nourishment, we too must turn our thoughts and hearts toward the source of life. To wake up intentionally is to acknowledge the significance of beginnings, to recognize that how we start the day influences everything that follows. This practice requires a measure of stillness and thoughtfulness. It may mean resisting the urge to reach for distractions, like scrolling through a phone or diving into tasks. Instead, it is about pausing, even briefly, to reflect on what truly matters. This moment of intentional wakefulness is an act of grounding oneself in truth and purpose. It is a conscious decision to center the day, not on fleeting concerns, but on enduring values, principles, and ultimately, a connection to God. In this wakeful moment, we also recognize that the day ahead is not solely ours to control. There will be challenges and opportunities that require wisdom and strength beyond our own. By choosing to wake with purpose, we prepare our hearts to face these moments with clarity, resilience, and grace. Each morning is a new beginning, a chance to realign our priorities and refresh our spirits. To wake up fully is not just to rise from sleep, but to embrace the day with an open heart, ready to live it with intentionality and faith. The moment we rise each morning offers us the opportunity to set a clear and purposeful tone for the day. At the heart of this moment lies a question: what will you seek first? For many, the rush of daily life tempts us to prioritize tasks, responsibilities, or even distractions as the first focus of our attention. Yet there is a deeper calling, one that urges us to seek God first above all else. This is not merely a suggestion for spiritual enrichment, but a foundational principle that shapes the entire course of the day and, ultimately, life itself. Seeking God first means consciously placing Him at the center of our thoughts, emotions, and plans from the moment we wake. It is an act of trust, a declaration that our reliance on Him is greater than our dependence on ourselves or the world around us. When we choose to begin our day with Him, we align ourselves with His wisdom, strength, and purpose, allowing His presence to guide and sustain us. This practice is not about grand gestures or elaborate rituals, rather it is about the simplicity of intent. A quiet prayer, a few verses from Scripture, or a moment of reflection on God's goodness is all it takes to redirect our focus from the chaos of the world to the peace of His presence. By doing this, we remind ourselves that no matter what lies ahead, we are not alone, and our steps are ordered by a loving and sovereign Creator. When we seek God first, it also transforms the way we approach our responsibilities and interactions. Instead of being overwhelmed by the demands of the day, we carry a sense of assurance and clarity that comes from knowing our foundation is secure. This prioritization reshapes our perspective, enabling us to face challenges with patience and wisdom, and to engage with others through a lens of grace and compassion. Seeking God first is a practice that cultivates gratitude and humility. It shifts our focus from what we lack or fear to what we have already received: His unfailing love, provision, and guidance. This act of placing Him first helps us to see our day not as a series of obligations, but as an opportunity to walk in His purpose and reflect His character in all we do. Seeking God first is a declaration that He is worthy of our attention and devotion. It is a choice to anchor ourselves in His unchanging truth, allowing Him to lead us with wisdom and strength through whatever the day may bring. To seek God first in the morning is to acknowledge a profound truth: we are not self-sufficient. As humans, we often pride ourselves on our abilities, resources, and plans. Yet beneath this confidence lies a simple reality: we are dependent beings, reliant on God for the breath we draw, the strength we carry, and the wisdom we need to navigate life's complexities. This realization is not a mark of weakness, but a gateway to true freedom, as it invites us to embrace God's infinite power and grace. Dependency on God is not about passivity or surrendering responsibility. Rather, it is an active, intentional choice to recognize Him as the source of all that we need. When we begin our day by seeking God, we position ourselves as recipients of His provision, wisdom, and guidance. This is an act of humility, a declaration that, despite our best efforts, we cannot control everything nor foresee what lies ahead. By turning to Him first, we entrust our day to His care, confident that His plans are greater than our own. This reliance on God is not born out of fear, but out of trust. It is the trust that comes from knowing He is a loving Father who delights in providing for His children. Scripture reminds us of this truth: cast all your anxiety on Him, because He cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7. When we seek God first, we place our burdens, uncertainties, and aspirations into His capable hands, allowing Him to lead us with His wisdom and peace. Such dependency also brings clarity to our priorities. The world often pressures us to be independent and self-reliant, encouraging us to seek success and security through our own efforts. Yet when we depend on God, we are reminded of what truly matters: His kingdom, His purposes, and His will for our lives. This perspective shifts our focus from temporary concerns to eternal truths, helping us to live with greater purpose and alignment with His plans. Acknowledging our dependency on God strengthens us for the challenges we face. It is in our weakness that His strength is made perfect. When we admit our need for Him, we open the door for His power to work through us, equipping us to face difficulties with courage and resilience. Starting the day by seeking God and leaning on His strength is not a sign of insufficiency, but of wisdom. It is the recognition that, with Him, we lack nothing and are empowered to walk through each moment with confidence in His unchanging love and guidance. The way we begin our day has a profound impact on how the rest of it unfolds. Each morning presents an opportunity to align our hearts, minds, and souls with God's will, setting the foundation for a purposeful and meaningful day. This alignment is not a passive occurrence, but an intentional act of turning toward God and allowing His truth to shape our priorities. When we seek Him first, we are recalibrating our lives to reflect His desires and purposes, ensuring that everything we do flows from a place of divine direction. Alignment begins with recognizing that our natural tendencies often pull us in multiple directions. The demands of work, relationships, and personal goals compete for our attention, and without clear focus, it's easy to become overwhelmed or misdirected. By placing God at the center of our morning, we establish a sense of order, grounding ourselves in His wisdom and guidance. This practice allows us to discern what is truly important and equips us to make decisions that honor Him throughout the day. When we align our hearts with God, we open ourselves to His transformative work. Our emotions, often influenced by external circumstances, are steadied by His presence. Instead of starting the day with anxiety or frustration, we experience peace, knowing that God's plans are perfect and His grace sufficient for whatever lies ahead. This heart alignment also fosters gratitude as we begin to see our blessings, challenges, and opportunities through the lens of His goodness. Aligning our minds with God involves a deliberate focus on His word and promises. In a world filled with distractions and conflicting messages, grounding our thoughts in His truth provides clarity and strength. Meditating on Scripture, reflecting on His character, or simply seeking His wisdom in prayer sets our minds on what is eternal and unchanging. This mental alignment helps us to approach the day with a clear perspective, enabling us to resist negativity and remain steadfast in faith. Aligning our souls with God connects us to His Spirit, which empowers and guides us. This alignment fosters a deeper awareness of His presence, reminding us that we are never alone. It encourages us to walk in step with Him, allowing His purposes to unfold through our actions, words, and choices. By starting the day in alignment with God, we set a trajectory that leads to joy, purpose, and fulfillment. This intentional act of seeking Him first ensures that everything we do is rooted in His will, allowing His peace and power to flow through us and impact every aspect of our day. When we choose to seek God first each morning, we set in motion a chain of events that extends far beyond the initial moments of the day. This decision creates a ripple effect that influences not only our thoughts and emotions, but also our interactions, choices, and overall experience of life. It is a small act of faith with profound and far-reaching consequences, transforming the way we approach the hours ahead and impacting the world around us. The first ripple begins internally within our own hearts and minds. By prioritizing time with God, we allow His presence to fill us with peace, clarity, and purpose. This inner stillness helps us face the day with confidence, knowing that we are grounded in something greater than ourselves. Instead of starting the day feeling rushed or uncertain, we carry the assurance that we are walking in alignment with God's will. This foundation of peace becomes a stabilizing force, helping us navigate challenges with patience and resilience. From this inner transformation flows the next ripple, the impact on our attitudes and behaviors. When we begin the day seeking God's wisdom and guidance, our perspective shifts. Tasks that once felt overwhelming become opportunities to honor Him, and interactions that might have been fraught with tension are approached with grace and understanding. This shift in perspective not only benefits us, but also affects how we relate to others, fostering kindness, compassion, and humility in our relationships. The ripple effect continues outward as our actions and attitudes influence those around us. A life centered on God radiates His love and light, touching the people we encounter throughout the day. A kind word, a patient response, or an act of service, all rooted in our time with Him, can inspire and uplift others, creating a positive impact that extends beyond our immediate circle. Even small gestures, when done with God's love, can have a lasting effect, demonstrating His presence in tangible ways. The ripple effect shapes the broader narrative of our lives. Consistently seeking God first not only transforms individual days, but also builds a legacy of faith and purpose. Over time, this practice deepens our relationship with Him, strengthens our character, and aligns our lives more closely with His eternal plan. It reminds us that our daily choices, no matter how small, contribute to the greater story He is writing through us. By seeking God first, we initiate a ripple effect that touches every aspect of our day and extends far beyond it, influencing our lives and the lives of others for His glory. Seeking God first each morning is not merely a habit, it is a transformative practice that shapes the core of who we are. When we prioritize Him above all else, we invite His presence to work within us, leading to a deep and lasting inner transformation. This process is not instantaneous but gradual, as each day's intentional pursuit of God molds our hearts, minds, and character to reflect His image. This transformation begins with peace, a peace that surpasses all understanding and is rooted in God's presence. In a world filled with uncertainty and anxiety, starting the day by focusing on God calms our restless hearts. This peace is not dependent on circumstances but flows from the assurance that God is in control and that His plans for us are good. By anchoring ourselves in this truth, we face the day with a sense of stability, regardless of the challenges that may arise. Joy is another fruit of this inner transformation. When we turn our hearts to God at the start of the day, we are reminded of His goodness and faithfulness. This awareness fills us with gratitude and joy, not because life is free from difficulties, but because we know we are deeply loved and cared for by our Creator. This joy becomes a source of strength, enabling us to approach each moment with a positive and hopeful outlook. Wisdom is also cultivated through the practice of seeking God first. By aligning our thoughts with His word and will, we gain clarity and discernment. God's perspective helps us make better decisions, prioritize what truly matters, and navigate complex situations with grace. This wisdom guides not only our actions but also our relationships, as we learn to approach others with empathy and understanding. This daily act of seeking God transforms our character. Patience, kindness, humility, and other virtues begin to take root in our lives, replacing selfishness, impatience, and pride. This transformation is not a result of our own efforts but of God's Spirit working within us, shaping us to reflect His love and grace more fully. The most profound aspect of this inner transformation is how it deepens our relationship with God. Each morning spent in His presence strengthens our connection to Him, drawing us closer to His heart. As we grow in intimacy with Him, we become more attuned to His voice and more willing to surrender our lives to His will. By seeking God first, we open ourselves to the transformative power of His presence, allowing Him to shape us into the people He has called us to be. This inner change not only benefits us but also enables us to impact the world around us with His love and truth. The act of seeking God first is not a one-time event or an occasional practice, but a daily renewal that refreshes the soul and strengthens our spiritual foundation. Each morning provides a fresh opportunity to reconnect with God, realign our priorities, and prepare ourselves to face the day ahead with His guidance and strength. This consistent daily discipline is essential because life is constantly changing, presenting new challenges, opportunities, and decisions that require divine wisdom and grace. Starting the day by seeking God reminds us of the need for continual dependence on Him. Yesterday's victories or struggles may have shaped our perspective, but today is a new beginning, requiring fresh wisdom and strength. The mercies of God are new every morning. Lamentations 3:22-23. And by seeking Him, we position ourselves to receive His grace for whatever the day holds. This renewal ensures that we are not relying on past experiences alone, but are actively inviting God into the present moment. Daily renewal through seeking God also helps us cultivate spiritual resilience. Life can be unpredictable and its pressures can wear us down if we are not anchored in something greater than ourselves. By prioritizing God each morning, we fortify our hearts and minds against the uncertainties of life. His word becomes a source of strength, His promises a source of hope, and His presence a source of peace. This daily connection equips us to face trials with patience and to navigate challenges with courage. This practice also deepens our relationship with God over time. Just as meaningful relationships are built through consistent communication and intentional effort, our bond with God grows stronger as we seek Him daily. Each morning spent in His presence draws us closer to Him, allowing us to hear His voice more clearly and understand His will more fully. Over time, this deepened relationship transforms not only our perspective but also the way we live, enabling us to walk in greater alignment with His purpose for our lives. Daily renewal through seeking God fosters a sense of purpose and gratitude. It reminds us that each day is a gift, an opportunity to serve Him and reflect His love to others. This perspective shifts our focus from the mundane to the eternal, helping us approach even routine tasks with a sense of joy and significance. Seeking God first every day is an act of surrender and trust, a declaration that He is the foundation of our lives. It is a discipline that refreshes, strengthens, and transforms us, enabling us to live each day with confidence in His unfailing presence and power.